Hi, I'm David Kilkelly. Welcome to Blink Back Video. In this episode we're going to be talking about some of the videos that have been going around online, doing very well, viral videos by various companies, and just having a talk about what it is that makes those videos successful and why they're doing well, or maybe why they're not doing so well. This week we're going to be talking about the WestJet video campaign, the Christmas campaign. This is their second video. It was released about a week ago. So far it's garnered 20 million views. I've been watching it over the last couple of days and it's gone up from 16 million to 20 million in just about 2 days. So it's doing very well, and I just want to have a little look at why I think that is and what particularly works about that video. So the basic premise of this video is a sort of drama reality cross where they position a box with a real-time Santa in it, a sort of screen on the front of it in the departure lounge of the airport. They've then sort of covertly filmed the passengers that are about to get onto one of the jets and asked them what they want for Christmas. They've asked the kids, they've asked the parents, they've asked for things like televisions and socks and all sorts of things. And then while the plane is in flight, we then cut to a bunch of people behind the scenes who've gone out, bought all the presents for all these people, and then when they arrive in the next city, the presents come down the conveyor belts and everyone's very happy and there's lots of emotion and crying and all sorts of things. I like this video. It's a kind of mix of reality and drama. It's about 5 minutes long. It feels authentic, it feels real, and I think that's one of the most important things that you can try and achieve in any video that you're doing. We've got to an age now where people are very savvy with television, very savvy with video and visual media, and they can spot fakery, they can spot a fraud a mile away. So one of the most important things about this video and about any video really is that it needs to be real. It needs to have real human sort of contact and human emotion in it. If you can garner that, then I think you're on the right track. Last year, WestJet did a flash mob video for their Christmas campaign, which was successful, but I mean it's approaching 1 million views now, so not too bad, but really nothing compared to the 20 million that this video has picked up in less than a week. And I think partly that's because the flash mob ship has kind of sailed. Flash mobs grew out of the public, really, sort of a very subversive cultural sort of thing to kind of bring a little bit of life and a little bit of light and joy to people's lives. So when the corporate world jumped on that, which they did, I think it was a little bit of a shame, really, and it kind of drained a little bit of the joy out of that. Having said that, there have been some very successful ones. Banco Sabadell produced one recently which had an orchestra playing in a local town square. I mean that's up to 27 million views. So when I look at that, I can see it being overproduced. I can see where the cameras would have been. I can see that it wasn't really a surprise for the audience in the street, which is the kind of point of a flash mob. And actually you can tell when you look at the audience that they're not really surprised because of all of the presence of cameras and production, so it's kind of overproduced. So that's kind of missing the trick in my view, but I mean it has got 27 million views, so you can't really argue with that. Having said that, the WestJet approach this year is a little bit more subtle than that. It's not really a flash mob, it's a lot more prepared, it's a lot more planned out. So why does the WestJet video work? Well, I think it's down to a few different individual things. Firstly, it's time specific. So this is approaching Christmas, obviously. It's relating to a specific time, and that allows people to kind of jump on board because it's in the front of their mind. The time is relevant to them. They're thinking about Christmas. This video is about Christmas. The second thing is that, as I said before, this is a mix of drama and reality. So this is narrated. The story is pushed along by a voice, by a narration, which is done in the style of A Night Before Christmas. And it also has some actors in there to help kind of craft the narrative and craft the story. So it feels like a film. It feels like an episode of something. But then there's a reality component to it. There are people that are being covertly filmed. They're real people. They're not playing to the camera. And you see those real emotions come out through those real people as well, which is what gives that film authenticity and what really kind of touches the emotions. Thirdly, it's got a classic sort of film narrative in a sense. It's got a beginning and a middle and an end. There's an introduction where we see people asking for things for Christmas. There's a middle section which is a different tempo. It's got some faster music. It's cut differently. It gives a little bit of energy, and then there's the end sequence, which is the sort of emotive lift at the end. So it's got a kind of classic narrative. There's a really good use of music in there, lots of different, about 3 or 4 different types of music in there, to give it a very cinematic sort of feel. And audiences connect to that because they're used to it. They're used to seeing it in cinema, and really this is a kind of a version of that. It's not a simple, straightforward shoot. There's multiple cameras in multiple locations, and there's lots of moments there where you have to get that correct moment, where you have to capture that person bursting into tears or smiling, or the single comment that they make when they open their gift. So it's something that needs a lot of planning and preparation. It's not something that you can kind of throw together. So the producers of this video have used a couple of different techniques to really push people's buttons. They've used emotive techniques like surprise, they've used generosity. You know, these are kind of Christmas sort of narratives, if you were, Christmas stories, and therefore they're connecting those stories together to help kind of drive the story forward a little bit. I've heard a lot of marketeers and sort of content marketers say that you can't create a viral video, that it's impossible, that they happen organically. But I think this is a really good example of one that has been created and that's worked successfully. And you know, people compare it to sort of a film director saying, I want to create a blockbuster video. Well, you can't just create a blockbuster video, but some film producers and directors can produce blockbuster videos. You know, James Cameron's films are predominantly blockbusters, and there's a reason why they are. It's because he understands audiences, he understands stories, and he understands emotion and human emotion, and he knows how to connect the dots between those things. And I'm pretty certain that in marketing terms the same is true. It's not simple, it's not straightforward to create a viral video, but it is possible, and this is a good example of how that works. So have a look at the video, see what you think, leave a comment if you agree or disagree with some of the things I've been saying. It'd be good to hear from you, and we'll see you next time. I'm David Kilkelly, this is Blinkback Video, blinkback.co.uk. Thanks for joining me.